Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. One is somebody is living the life, and the second is the life is being lived through the body. In the first case, there is a sense of individuality. In the second case, it is the individuality is dissolved. It is something like, when we talk about a disease, disease is a common denominator. But when we talk about a patient, then we are talking about an individual. So also, when we talk about an individual, I versus you is born. But when we talk about the principle of life, then I versus you is not born. So the wise man is living like the life and not an individual. Therefore, Daivena niyate deho yatha kaloho bhuktishu laksha lakshagatim tyaktva yat tishtet kevalatmana. Such a person is merely living in this world and not able to get involved as an individual. See, friends. Then what for he is living? He is living kala upabhuktishu, for time pass. Those of you who can catch this phrase, time pass, in the correct perspective, you have attained a high spiritual evolution. When you talk about time pass, what exactly it means? It means there is no burden of any achievement or failure in life. There is no burden. If something is achieved, well and good. If something is not achieved, equally good. No problem. And how this can be done, and is it possible? About this, I will tell you one example, one experience. This happened in Nepal Ganj. We were all going to Kailash Manas Sarovar, and we were in a good hotel, 4-star, 3-star hotel in Nepal Ganj in Nepal. From there, we are supposed to take another helicopter and go to China. So, it started raining in cats and dogs to such an extent that 5 days incessant rain was going on. First it was raining in cats and dogs, then it became cows and buffaloes, then it became these lions and other elephants and camels, heavy raining. To such an extent that in our dining hall of that hotel, the water came up to knee-deep level, dining hall. So, nowhere, nothing can be done. And we had about a dozen, Westerners with us, rest Indian. And when it was happening, everybody was very frustrated, angry. Because we have come here to go there and we are not able to do it, all our money is gone. Whenever there is I, there is a worry. So I was enjoying the whole tamasha, and then just to break the ice, I said, hey, come on, those of you who are having blood in their veins, come with me. Those who are having Coca-Cola need not come. And then we were outside in the open, courtyard of that hotel, and then we started going in round. I said, follow me. About half a dozen, 6-7 people followed. And we played there the game of time pass. How do we time pass? I said, now follow me. It was heavily raining, and do this mantra. Lift the left leg above the water level, then slowly put it down without splashing the water. No splash. Then the second leg, right one above, and slowly. and in this manner we will go in round. While doing this, chant mantra. I have nothing to do. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing to do. I have nowhere to go. If you have something to do and somewhere to go, then you are worried. If you have nothing to do, nowhere to go, then what for you? Time pass. That's it. All your tensions, worries will be dissolved, friends. This is how the wise man lives in this world. He has no agenda. Therefore, one of the most subtle points is, if you go to a Mahatma who has something to do in this world, he will always use you. He will not guide you. See, imagine, suppose I have to construct a hospital, and anybody who comes and meets me, what will be my approach? How can I encash this meeting so that I get some money? Because I have to run the hospital. And look here, I am not doing it for myself, justification. I am doing it for the people. Has anybody, Babaji, came and told you, sir, please start a hospital? It is our own khujli. Please remember this principle. Anybody who has to do anything in this world will only encash our interactions. And he who has nothing to do, nowhere to go, he will tell you the truth bluntly on your face, whether you like or you don't like. He doesn't have to please anybody. See, friends, this is how it is easier to live. At the samadhi of the wise men, after they have departed, the avadutas. But to live with a living avaduta is very difficult. Because avadutas don't have to do anything. See? Avatar and avadhuta, two things. Avatar is God expresses through man, and avadhuta is man has attained Godhood. See the difference? So when we are living with the avadutas living, they have nothing to do, nowhere to go, they can alone tell us the truth. Such wise people, laksha alaksha datim tyaktva. They have no destination, nowhere to go, nothing to do. There was this example I am giving you just to make a point. This happened in Shimla many years before. I went to some Sindhi's house for food in the evening. That lady used to come, nobody from her family. So when I went there, the moment I entered, I felt very uncomfortable feeling in the whole house. And there is something wrong somewhere. Anyway, so she says, Swami, please sit down and I will get the food ready. I said, Mama, I will see the TV. So, okay, see. Those days there was only one channel, that Doordarshan, not Doordarshan, Doordarshan. So that Doordarshan channel was there, and I was seeing that evening time program comes, Chitramala, something like that. So when I was seeing that, like the rats coming out of the holes, about half a dozen children came from different places, from the same house. You are watching TV? I said, hey, who is this singer? I think she must be Madhubala. Who is dancing? I didn't know who is who. So the children said, no, it is not Madhubala, it is somebody. And slowly, our barrier of I versus you dissolved. We had a nice time. We all ate together. Then I fed every child from my plate so that I am not at risk. That is the reason. People think I don't love anybody. So after that was done, then we were sitting with ice cream. So one boy asked this question. Swamiji, what is the difference between you and me? I said, no difference. Then why Dadi Ma is doing namaskar to you, why she doesn't do me? I said, you ask her, how do I know? I don't know. So the old people, Shesham Kopena Pure. When you don't have answer, become angry. This is a simple technique elderly people follow. Don't ask answer question. This is not bad. Swami, okay, like that. So he said, Swamiji, don't bother. These children are useless. They have no manners. They don't know how to behave with elders. I said, see, she told me this is the reason. No, then you tell. I said, okay. I'll ask you questions. When you are studying, are you studying only or thinking about so many things? Oh, Swamiji, whenever I study, I remember the cricket match. Very good. When you are watching cricket match, are you watching the cricket match fully or you remember your homework? Yes, I remember my homework that day. I have not completed homework. When will I do it? When you are taking food, are you taking food only or you are watching the movie that day? Swamiji, how do you know all these things? I say, don't bother about it. No, that time I always sit for food with the movie in the front and the food in the front. I said, this is what you do. I'll tell you what I do. When I eat. When I talk, I talk. When I sleep, I sleep. When I watch movie, then I watch movie. Nothing else. This is the only difference between you and me, and therefore Mummy salutes me and not you. See, our mind is never where we are. And then there is a tension all the time. This is such a simple thing, friends, spiritual practice. Try to remain present whenever, wherever you are, with whatever job you are doing, 100% presence. And 100% presence is possible only when you are in the present. Present without the past and the future is equal to presence. Present, past, future are tenses. Such people live in tensions. But the one who is no more living in tenses and tensions, he is living in presence. Living in presence all the time is what this wise man is engaged. Therefore, yat tishthet kevalatmana, he lives only as pure consciousness. What is the meaning of pure consciousness? Pure consciousness means where the time, space and object, these three parameters are non-operational. They do not operate. For example, our daily experience, when we sleep, that time, where we are, when we are and what we are. When we sleep, that time there is no 2012. When we are sleeping, we are no more in Coimbatore. When we sleep, we are no more man or woman. The time, space and object, when these three things transcend, then we are living as pure consciousness. And if we observe our life, the whole life is spent only in these three parameters. Therefore, such a wise man, Shiva eva swayam sakshat, ayam brahma viduttamaha, jivanneva sada muktaha, krutartho brahma vittamaha. Such a wise man is now swayam Shiva eva sakshat, ayam brahma viduttamaha. Brahma viduttamaha. Now these are all the technical terms. We have to very clearly understand it. You know, in English, like we have got the comparative and the superlative degrees. Good, better, best. Good is the infinitive case, then better is a comparative and best is a superlative. Brahma viduttamaha. Viduttama means Brahma vidu, Brahma viduttara and Brahma viduttama. Three conditions. Good, better, best. First condition. Who is the Brahmavid? Brahmavid is the one who has the knowledge to tell to others, but he has never practiced in life. You know, there is God. You must appreciate God. You should behave properly. God is watching you. Only telling others. But as regards living that knowledge in our life is zero. Is Brahmavid. Such people fall in the category of erudite scholars. They can really tell you so many beautiful things, but as regards their personal life is concerned, is completely flat. So, Brahmavid. Then the second condition is Brahmavittara. Like good, better. Brahmavittara is what? They are now practicing that knowledge in their life, but they are not yet established in this knowledge. See, Brahmavittara. And such people are no more interested in the worldly involvement, but they are interested in their spiritual practice. So they will have a very disciplined life. Then they will have their meditation sessions, they will chant the Lord's name, they will study the scriptures, they will not be extrovert. This is the second stage, Brahmavittara. But they have not yet experienced the truth. Then Brahmaviduttama, good, better, best. Brahmaviduttama is the one who is Shrotriya Brahmanishta. Shrotriya, he has all the knowledge contained in the scriptures, and Brahmavittama, but it is no more only erudition and scholarship, but he is abiding in that experience. Sache Brahmaviduttama Swayam Shivaeva Sakshat. He himself is Paramatma. Shivaeva Swayam Sakshat. You know how this is, it looks as if very difficult. It is not. Okay? This common example I am giving you again and again. Man is Brahma. The son, the husband, and the father. The one who knows this. Yes, I know this thing, I have heard so many times. Nothing happens. Many people ask this question. Somebody, when you tell us here, it looks so simple, not difficult at all. But when we go back, put on our shoes, everything is back to square one. What is the reason? Your shoes. Don't put on. Put on somebody else's shoes, you will be all right. See, friends. So, Brahmavittamaha is, although you are a husband, you have never forgotten that you are a man first and then you are a husband. Man is the reality behind the husband. And who is miserable is the husband. Man is never miserable and husband is never happy. And who is this husband? He is not. See, can we separate a man and husband from each other? You cannot. Therefore, this Brahmavittamaha is the one who is abiding in his pure conscious reality, although he is playing the role of various positions according to requirement in life. See? Therefore, all the spiritual practice, difficulties, questions, contradictions, everything can be sorted out only by one word. And that one word is, take life as Rama Leela or Krishna Leela. See? Leela means what? Leela means everything is appearing that something is happening, but in fact nothing is happening. See? Last night I was doing this DVD job, Bala's work, he gave me a lot of work. So I said I must finish it or else it will remain pending. So he gave me that work, I was sitting. What will I do? So internet is there. So the best way for me is, then I started listening on the YouTube. So what to listen at night before going to sleep? So when I was scrolling, I suddenly came across Meera Bhajans, we should say. And this Hema Malini and Pandit Ravi Shankar and Vani Jairam, this combination, these bhajans I like also. So I was seeing those videos, bhajan videos. And when I was seeing that, She was acting so good that mere to giridhar gopal dusaro na koi. So beautiful acting. That time what was going in my mind, that look here, if she is really doing it, by just doing acting, she enjoys, everybody appreciates her, although it is not true. If she really attains that, what will be the joy? See, friends. Therefore, the more we are convinced of this, we will be able to live. That don't become serious about any issue in life. Don't become serious. Whatever best you can do it. And we are not here to please everybody in the world. Many of us become miserable because we try to please somebody. Husband tries to please the wife, wife tries to please the husband, the children try to please the parents. And thus whole life is only a struggle to please others. You can never achieve that. Therefore, Shiva eva swayam sakshat brahma vidattamaha, and therefore Jivan eva sada muktaha krutartho brahma vidattamaha. Jivan eva sada muktaha. While alive itself, he is liberated. How? When an actor is acting on the stage that he is a criminal, even during that acting that he is a criminal, that time also he is not a criminal. Jivan eva, although he is acting, but he has never become a criminal. In the same manner, we all have to have various roles to play in our life. Play your role perfectly well, and after the role is over, get out. Don't carry the burden of the role throughout life. See, friends, and this is what is our tragedy. Whenever we are miserable, we have come out of the stage, but we have forgotten to remove the costume. One story I was telling the other day, somewhere, and Dr. Hegde in Narayan Hrudayanam, he told this story. He said, Swami told one story, and that story really makes a great sense and deep impact on me. The story goes like this. There was an actor, and he was very extremely good actor, and he was specialized in acting as Rana Pratap. So, every time the show is over, everybody claps, he is so happy, goes to the green room, and in the green room there is one boy, 15 years old, and he has to collect all the material from every character. Rana Pratap, jute utar, topi utar, and he will fold it and keep it. Remove your shoes, remove your clothes, remove this thing, and put it down. That day it so happened, as usual, when he came in the room, the boy said, Rana Pratap, hurry up, I have to go. Rana Pratap became angry, gave him money. You talk to Rana Pratap like this? The child was thinking, what happened to this fellow? And Rana Pratap with his bhala and everything, he walked out. When he walked out, a bus happened to stop there. Rana Pratap thought, bus is for me. He entered the bus. When such a terrible character enters the bus, everybody is looking at him. And conductor, his job, tak, 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 where you have to go, give money. Asking money from Rana Pratap. And when this happened, the driver saw in that mirror. So he said, don't worry, relax. And the bus went out midnight in the deep forest. When the bus was going from one state to another state, in the deep forest, dark night, suddenly the brakes were applied. Immediately, Rana Pratap, what happened? Goes, is Rana Pratap? Driver says, Chittorgarh. Chittorgarh was the place where Rana Pratap used to stay. So he said, Chittorgarh. Immediately, Rana Pratap got down off the bus, and the bus went away. And Rana Pratap is moving in that dark forest. You and me are that Rana Pratap. Play the role perfectly well, but don't carry the burden. When your job is over, immediately change. See, friends, this is how the wise man lives. Jivanneva sada muktaha krutartho brahmavittamaha. And therefore, he has attained fulfillment in life. Fulfillment in life means there are no regrets of commissions or omissions. We carry the burden of regrets of the wrong commissions and the right omissions. What should have been done, we never did it. What should not have been done, we have done a lot. And now we regret. See, these Upanishadic mantras, what they tell, they got such a depth. When I used to read this thing, I used to think, how it can, who will be regretting and all that? But one day, one man came, and we were sitting casually in Vrindavan, it happened. And dashing the people, he came and sat down. Swami, please help me, please help me. I said, I don't give donations, so don't ask. No, not that way. Help me, I don't want to go to hell. I said, don't go, it is optional. You don't have to go. You don't know, I have done every kind of sin. And even then you say, I will not go. I said, okay, I promise you, you will not go to hell. How come? I asked him, where are you now? A person who does not have fulfillment in life, a person who falls short of self-respect, he is living hell. See, friends, hell is not a place. It is an experience, somehow or the other. These things have gone so wrong in our head. Loka means experience. Swarga loka. Mrityu loka. The narak loka. Loka means experience. An experience happens in the mind. And if our mind is not at peace, we don't have to go anywhere to the hell, but we create our own hell wherever we are. See, friends, therefore, Jivanneva sada muktaha krutartho brahmavittamaha. He is totally fulfilled. The experience of fulfillment, one example. I have 7 daughters. 6 of them found out their fools and got lost. The 7th one was a dumbo. She could not hook anybody. And naturally, as a father, I had to do all this business. So wherever I go, I was just searching. Once I went to some funeral and the dead body is burning and I was standing, Gupta ji, koi ladka hai kya? Because my mind was overpowered by searching for a broom for my bride. They are not grooms, they are brooms. Everywhere I will go, only one thought. There has to be some boy found out for this girl. And like that, everywhere I go, finally I found one boy and she got married and she went to her husband's house. That time, what was my feeling? Now relax. In the same manner, this wise man is totally krutartha brahmavittama krutartha. All that has to be done is done. Now there are no more things left incomplete. One person asked me in Delhi, he says, Swamiji, I want to ask you certain things, don't mind. I said, you also don't mind when you listen my replies. Yes. Why you are doing this, making the copies of the DVD, CD, MP3, you can give it to somebody will do it. I said, look here. I do not carry any secretary, president, office with me. I am one-man show. Yes. Now people, when they want some CDs, DVDs, I tell somebody, okay, give them. And whatever may be the reason, this doesn't happen. 1 or 2 people, from their money is taken, but the goods are not delivered. Now to whom will I catch? Because my principle is, I have no right on anybody. This is the principle with which I live. I have no right on anybody. So I can't challenge anybody. Why did you take the money and deal you? Then those people write to me, Swamiji, we paid that much, but the DVDs never came to us. So what do I do now? Then I prepare wherever I. From there I send a courier. Instead of doing it later, why not finish it right now? Never leave loose ends in your life every day. That day's work must be complete on the same day. You see the joy of life. See, friends, it is such a simple spiritual practice. Don't leave anything for tomorrow. You finish taking food and all the cooking, before you go to sleep, clean the kitchen, wash everything. So next day morning when you come to the kitchen, you are fresh. Otherwise you come to the kitchen and the whole world is sitting there waiting for somebody to come. Spiritual life is nothing different than remaining in the utter present. Krutartho, there is total fulfillment. This principle I learned from a girl. Two brother sister. Brother was about 8 years or 9 years and sister was 12 to 13 years. And I was in their house. They came from the school. Boy, as a boy, he threw his books, shoes, sat on the sofa, shouted from their mom, give something to eat, and started watching the cartoon show. And this girl, she went in her room, she did not come. So I asked her mother, hey, why she is not coming? Oh, Swamiji, she is very funny. What? Unless she completes her homework, she doesn't come home. She has a rule, self-imposed rule. When I come from the school, I will not change my school uniform unless I have completed my homework. It may take half an hour or 1 hour, doesn't matter. And nobody can talk to her during that time. After some time she came. Then I asked, I said, hey, see, your brother is enjoying. Why don't you enjoy? No, Swamiji, he doesn't have to bother about homework. Why? Because mommy and daddy, they do his homework. What about your homework? My homework, I don't allow them to do. I said, why? Once daddy did my homework and I got punishment in the school. So when I know that I have to do my homework, why not I finish it before I start enjoying? This is what is called a spiritual life. Krutartha. There are no loose ends left in life. Every day must be complete. So when the death comes, tell her, hey, come on, why are you late? I have been waiting for you. See, friends. Therefore, Krutartha means this fulfillment in life. Then, Upadhi, Nashat Brahmaiva Sat Brahma Peti Nirdvayam Saidusho Vesha Sadbhava Bhava Yasho Yathapuman. Then, Upadhi Nashat Brahmaiva Sat Brahma Apeti. So, because of the Upadhi, the conditionings are dropped through wisdom. Be attentive. Conditionings can be dropped through ignorance also. I drop the conditioning of the wife and imagine, now I am no more a husband, I am free. For how long? Till I get another fish. Then again I become husband. That is not the real thing. The real thing is continue to be with the same lady as a husband, but live as a man. Don't live as a husband. That's all. Wisdom does not support disintegration. Otherwise there is no end to this. Therefore Upadhi Nashat. And what is the Upadhi? Is the conditioning. Now this conditioning is where only in the mind. So when I get married to some girl, I have this in my mind, she is my wife. Then I divorce. Now that conditioning, she is not my wife. But she is still alive. Nobody dies. So where is the problem? Problem is only in the mind. That because of her I am miserable. Now when she is no more my wife, I am happy. No, friends. Remove these conditionings and through wisdom and you come to discover. Therefore, upadinashat brahmaiva sat brahma api apeti nirdvayam. And then the duality created by the conditioning will disappear. So, our life is lived as the virtual reality. Husband and wife are the virtual reality. Man and woman is the actual reality. Remind yourself again and again. Whenever you are disturbed, give it a try. We can do right away. Whichever way you are sitting, don't change your postures. Relax. Close your eyes. According to your gender, become husband and wife. And now watch what thoughts are coming. Experiment number 1 over. Now second experiment. According to your position, become parents or children. And see what thoughts are coming. According to your position, become doctor or patient. And see what thoughts are coming. Now the last experiment. Remain as nobody. And see what thoughts come. Your breathing has become extremely slow and shallow. As if a feeling of sinking is happening. Now this experiment over, take deep breath once or twice, slowly. Now open your eyes and let us analyze our experiment. When we became husband and wife, the thoughts were pertaining to the wife and husband. When we became parents or children, thoughts were pertaining to the children and the parents. When we became doctor and patient, the doctor was thinking about the patient was blaming the doctor. And when we were nobody, no thoughts. Wise man lives as nobody. Somebody is a virtual reality, nobody is the actual reality. North, east, west, south is the virtual reality, space is the actual reality. When we are living in the north, east, west, south, then Feng Shui will infect you. Vastu Shastra will trouble you. But when you are living in space, neither Feng Shui nor Vastu Shastra. See, friend. And all these things are only conditioned. Space is conditioned by the earth and the sun relationship, and the east is born. So is the sun rising in the east, or is the east because the sun rises that side? What is the truth? The truth is space. Neither the sun nor the earth. The more we become aware of this unconditioned presence, by exposing ourselves to this again and again, the earlier wrong habits of thinking will die away. in medical term they say unused atrophy. Suppose I was reading one Mahatma's life history. He had kept his left hand straight up like this for 24 years. So the joints were ankylosed, no more flexing of the joints because unused atrophy. Exactly the same principle. When you expose yourself to absolute silence, longer and longer period of time, this mind, its original old habit of constantly reacting to everything in this world, that habit slowly dies away. Because the mind is not being used unnecessarily. Such a master is at peace like Bhagavan Raman Maharshi. Days together he will be sitting, not talking to anybody. Even people come, sit, he will be sitting. He will go for a walk twice on the Arunachalam hillock, go, come back, no talking. There is no need. Many of us will appreciate this. Many times we talk when it is not required. More than what we should talk, one has to learn when we should not talk. And because of this uncontrolled talking, etc., we create problems for us. Therefore, here, Upadhinashat Brahmaiva Apnoti Nirdvayam. Example is given. Shairusho Vesha Sadbhava Bhavayascha Yathakuman. Like a man, when he puts on the costume, he becomes Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He becomes Mahatma Gandhi. And when he discards that costume, he is back to the man. But now when we go one step further, even when he has put on the costume, has he ceased to be a man? He continues to be a man. But if the conditioning is overpowering him, like our Rana Pratap, then you and me are born and we suffer in our life. Therefore, Tathaiva Brahma Visreshtaha Sada Brahmaiva Naparaha Ghate Nashte Yatha Vyoma Vyomaiva Bhavati Swayam. In the same manner, this Brahma Visreshtaha, the one who is the supreme one, abiding in the absolute reality for good, Sada Brahma Eva. He does not know the Brahman, he is the Brahman. This is another important thing. On the spiritual path, knowing is being. On the material science, knowing is not being. I know this patient is suffering from cancer, but I don't become cancer. See? In the life of our Nisargadatta Maharaj, this thought comes. When he was having cancer towards the end of his life, so one of the devotees came and said, Maharaj, why you should get cancer? In that condition, when he was not able to speak, that time he said, I don't have cancer, I am cancer. For a dead body, there is neither health nor disease. Diseases are possible only when the body is alive. See, friends. Therefore, he could very clearly say, I don't have cancer, I am cancer. In the same manner, it is not that, I have realized Brahman as if Brahman was other than me. No. It is one's essential nature. Example given, Ghate Nashte Yatha Vyoma Vyomaiva Bhavati Swayam. When the ghata, the pot breaks, the pot space, even earlier when the pot was, that time also it was a space. And when the pot breaks, that time also it is the same space. See, in the external space, if you keep something dirty, the space doesn't get influenced. In the pot, if you keep the Ganga Jal, or if you keep the liquor, if you keep the non-vegetarian, or if you keep the curds, that will not pollute, contaminate the space. Exactly the same way. The wise man who is abiding in his absolute reality, he remains untouched, uncontaminated by anything in his world. See, like the space. Therefore, there are three spaces through which the journey happens, the spiritual journey. First is the gross space. So first spiritual practice is we start playing what it will be like being a gross space. So the gross space is not influenced by the gross world. So if we practice this, worldly things, achievements and failures, friends and enemies will not make any difference to us. Like, because we are playing space. The second is Chittakasha, the mental space. All thoughts, good or bad thoughts, they come in the mental space. But the mental space is untouched by any thought. If you start playing Chittakasha, mental space, you will cease to be influenced by any thought. Let me come and who cares? Then ultimately the third, Chidakasha, the conscious space. In this conscious space, let the waker come in the waking state, let the dreamer come in the dream state, let the deep sleeper come in the deep sleep state, let the samadhi person come in the samadhi, they come and go. Conscious space remains untouched by any one of them. See, friends. Now what sadhana will the gross space have to do for not getting influenced by the contents of the gross space? What sadhana it has to do? No. It is a natural condition. It is a natural state. Even if you want to pollute the space, you cannot. Similarly, the mental space. Right from childhood till date, if you observe how many good and bad thoughts have gone, but the mind is the same. So is the case of the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, samadhi. They keep on coming and going. They come from nowhere, they go nowhere. When they come, there is no addition. When they go, there is no subtraction. In the infinite alone, addition and deleting is equal. This infinite reality is the actual reality. That is our nature. This is what the wise man is abiding in this. Tathaivopadivile brahmaiva brahmavitsvayam kshiram kshire yatha kshiptam tailam taile jalam jale. In the same manner, when the body is dropped by the wise man, he merges in the absolute after the destruction of the body. Two examples are given. Kshiram kshire, like the milk is poured into another pot containing the milk, they merge without any making noise, or tailam taile, or the oil is put into another pot of oil, they merge without any efforts. Similarly, jalam jale, when water is poured in the water pot, there is no agitation, there is no difference. संयुक्तमेकतां याति तथा आत्मनि आत्मविन्मुनि एवं विदेह कैवल्यम सन्मात्रत्वम अखंडितम. Now such a Atmavid Muni, he now is no more regarding the conditioned expression as real. Now you just sit quiet, closing your eyes, take one position. Suppose husband, wife, brother, sister, relative. Suppose you take the husband or the wife. Now try. What will you have to do to revert back to your position as man and woman? What will you do? There is no need to do anything. Because man, the husband is a man. The wife is a woman. To be a husband, to be a wife, efforts are required. To be a man and to be a woman, no efforts are required. Husband we have become. Wife we have become. Man we have not become. Woman we have not become. We are man. We are woman. How simple it is, friends. But when we are obsessed with the conditionings and conditioned expressions, then we get extremely enchanted. Oh, when I was sitting, I saw a bright light. But after that day, I never saw the bright light. I don't know what happened, Swami. Please help me. I should be able to see the bright light again. What happened? Your bulb has been confused. Please remember one simple rule. Any experience which comes and goes is a mental projection. Any experience. That experience which doesn't begin, that experience which does not modify, that experience which does not end is our essential nature. That is the actual reality. See? We have no beginning of our presence. We do not experience that we have undergone modifications. We do not experience our death and absence. So this unborn, unmodified, unending ever presence is the actual reality. In this you will see you will have zero efforts. See friends, lesser the efforts are involved in our day-to-day life, we are nearer than the nearest to our own self. But our whole life is a struggle. We want to prove something. It is something like, these laughing club people. They go in the morning and they artificially laugh. That artificial laughter is not laughter. Because you are laughing is an action. So, during that period of laughing, 3 times clap, ha ha ha, 4 times clap, hoo hoo hoo, and then after that when you come home, again the same anger, frustration. If the servants are scolded, you are again next day morning, it becomes an addiction. It is all in the mind. Do not remain as an artificial existence. Be what you are. In being, no efforts. Like when you are listening to something, some music, and you really get the kick of that music, that time the words come out of your mouth. See? Come on, very good. You have not prepared that. Spontaneous expression is the divinity manifested. There is no prepared expression. See friends, spontaneity is required. Like Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when he was young, he was crossing the field and he saw evening time, the sun was setting and garland of birds was flying, and when he saw that, and there itself he lost himself and ceased to be a person and merged in that experience and fell on the ground. It just happened. He did not do it. Same is the case. Let meditation happen. But if you want to do meditation, then you will have a lot of 101 things. Asana should be like that, there should be God in the front, there should not be any noise, switch off everything, and then you should remain effortless. So, तथा एव उपाधि किलये ब्रह्मैव ब्रह्मवित् स्वयं क्षीरं क्षीरे क्षिप्तं तैलं तैले जलं जले संयुक्तमेकतां याति तथा आत्मनि आत्मविन्मुनि. Thus, the husband merges in the man. The wife merges in the woman. How simple. As a husband or a wife, there is no end to the thinking process. As a man and a woman, there is no need of any thought. Thoughts always come about others, and thought always come to that who thinks he is finite. In the infinite, where sense of otherness is absent, thoughts cannot be born. Like in the deep sleep, we are no more finite because all the conditionings are dropped. So, the second condition, in the deep sleep, there is no sense of otherness and therefore no thoughts. When the experience of deep sleep is brought in the waking state, that is called as God realization. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha prashtato munehe. The experience of the deep sleep, the non-dual infinite being, this experience when it is smuggled in the waking state also, the realization has happened. But our condition is the experience of the relativity, the virtual reality, we smuggle from the waking into the sleep and start projecting the dreams and become miserable. It's the other way around. So the wise man brings the deep sleep experience into the waking, and the other wise man takes the waking experience into the sleep and thereby producing the dreams. Because what is a dream? Those unfulfilled desires are manifested in the dream. I am a subordinate and my boss is a terrible monster. I always feel I should do something to this fellow. And in that frustration I go to sleep. And then I dream, my boss is my servant. And I am the boss. And then I shout at him, Guptani, lay out Guptani. He brings the water. Who told you to bring water? Take it away, fool. What I could not imagine to do in the waking, I fulfill in the dream. See, friends, understand these tricks of the mind. You will be always in tune with the actual reality. Then, evam videha kaivalyam sanmatratvam akhanditam. Be attentive. In this manner, there is unbroken presence recognized. Waker breaks when the waking state is over. Dreamer disappears when the dream is over. The deep sleeper disappears when the sleep is over. The samadhistha purushaha, he disappears when the samadhi breaks. But in and through all this, there is unbroken presence who supported the waking experiences of the waker but never disappears. He supports the dream experiences of the dreamer but is never influenced, and so on. This akhanda sanmatra, unbroken presence. Now see how it is true. The same unbroken presence man is present in the son, is present in the husband, is present in the father. Because who are these father, son and husband? They are the virtual realities. No virtual reality can exist without the actual reality. If you become extremely aware of this, we are miserable only as somebody. Discard that somebody from your head. That's all. How to discard that? Play whatever role you have to play efficiently. After the role is played, delete. See? Like, when I go home, I use this recorded files. I just connect to the laptop, do whatever processing is required, and then delete it. If I keep on accumulating everything, it has no capacity. Same way, in life, if you are a wife, play the role of the wife. After that, delete the wife. Don't continue to be wife 24/7. When husband is in front of you, behave as if you are wife. If you forget, she will be happier than that. Sanmatratvam akanditam brahma bhavam prapaddeshe yatina vartate punah sadatmakatva vijnanadagdaha avidyadi varshmanaha. So the one yati, the sincere seeker, is ignorance, everything is burnt away in the fire of knowledge, and he is established in this absolute, infinite, actual reality. He is no more born again, because amushya brahma bhutatvat brahmana kutudbhavaha, because he is merged in the absolute, therefore he can never be born again. Be attentive. When the wave goes back to the sea, is it the same wave again born? Think. When the wave merges back in the sea, the same wave is never born again. When the dream is over, the dreamer has merged into the non-existence. Is it that tomorrow's dream, the same dreamer will come? Now the same principle. Waker also. Yesterday's waker and today's waker have no relationship. The continuity is an illusion. It is something like, the garland. You can talk about a garland, beautiful garland, etc. But garland is not a reality. If you cut the thread and separate all the flowers, the weight of the garland and this disintegrated garland will be the same. Where the garland has gone. It has not gone anywhere, because all the flowers are there and the thread is there. Then what was garland? It was a virtual reality. Actual reality is the flower and the threads. Come to discover this. This is our essential nature. This is the actual reality. Or else all the life, only one thing, husband is like that, wife is like that, children is like that. Now after, initially, I used to be very talking to the people when they come with the problem. After some time I found that these people are, very happy to talk about their miseries. It is something like, the eczema. When you scratch the eczema, you don't feel pain, you enjoy. And when the bleeding is seen by the same man, stop it, is bleeding. Oh, it's bleeding. I'm so sorry. I was enjoying it. See, friends, don't get involved in this world beyond limit. We all have come once, and we will live as one, go out of this world. Three things, there is no proxy. There is no proxy to live our life. There is no proxy to live our life. And there is no proxy on the spiritual path. We have to live our life, we have to die our death, we have to practice our own spiritual life. Nobody can do it for us. With this, when we start living, amushya brahma bhutatvat brahmana kutudbhavaha. Now how can the wave which has merged in the ocean How can the ocean be again born as a wave? Therefore, Maya Klupto Bandha Moksho Nastaha Swatmani Vastutaha. So, the Bandha Moksha, bondage and liberation, they are only for the virtual reality. The husband thinks I am in bondage, therefore he makes a divorce and he feels that I am liberated. Bondage and liberation is for the husband, not for the man. Man was never bound in the same manner. I, the Supreme Self, has never been under any limitations. Yathārajyo nishkriyāyam sarpa bhāsa vinirgamo avrutte tadasatvābhyam vaktavye bandha mokshane. Like when the rope is seen as a snake, the rope was never under bondage. It was the person who was seeing the rope as a snake, he was afraid, not the rope. In the same manner, when we look at the world from the relative standpoint, from the virtual reality standpoint, there is misery. The moment you go with the right means of knowledge, put the torchlight on the snake which has been troubling you, you go to see the snake, but the snake will disappear and a rope will be seen. In the same manner, find out the snake. Who is miserable? Husband is miserable. Go with the right means of knowledge, torch called as study of the scriptures, your own spiritual practice, and then focus that light of wisdom on Mr. Husband, and he will come to know, hey, husband is essentially a man. Then the question comes, will you struggle? But then where the snake has gone? Where the husband has gone? Are a man, husband will go somewhere if he is. He is nowhere. That which is nowhere is becoming miserable. How can you be sympathetic with these miserable people? See? Therefore, Vaktave Brahma Mokshane Navrutir Brahmana Kajit Anya Bhavathanavrtam Astiti Pratyayo Yascha Nastiti Vastuni Buddhe Deva Gudetau Natu Nityasya Vastunaha Atasto Mayaya Klupto Bandha Moksha Unajatmane. Therefore, Navruti Brahmana Kajit, the Brahman cannot be again born, being there is none other than the Absolute. Can we say, when the pot breaks, the pot space will be again born in another pot? It cannot. Nothing in this world is ever repeated. Like today's dreamer doesn't come in the tomorrow's dream, in the same manner, today's waker is not in tomorrow's waking experience. Thus, start living in the utter today. This virtual reality, I versus you, will disappear. See? And it's just a practice, nothing else. In Yoga Vasishta, Vasishta Bhagavan tells Bhagavan Ramachandra, look here, Ram, it is only by mere practice that we have started living as body. If only by practice we have started living as a body, by undoing this practice alone we can get freedom. Therefore, the real spiritual practice is not doing anything, but undoing all what we have been doing till date. In the same manner, it is not becoming spiritual, but it is unbecoming virtual. When this is clearly conceived in our understanding, then our spiritual practice will automatically take the right direction. Because bondage and freedom, buddhihi eva guna etau. All these bondage and freedom, these are only in the mind. We only imagine I am miserable, we only imagine I am happy. In fact, that which is supporting both happiness and misery is beyond the happiness and misery. See, like the mind, supporting good and bad thoughts. Therefore, mind is beyond good and bad. The waking consciousness, the consciousness supporting waking dream, etc. Therefore, is beyond all this. So, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, waking, dream, deep sleep, Samadhi, they belong to, waking experience belongs to the intellect. Dream experience belongs to the mind. The deep sleep experience belongs to Ahankar. And the Samadhi experience belongs to the Chitta, the memory. It has nothing to do with the consciousness. The phrase which is used many a times, the waking plane of consciousness, it is wrong. That experience belongs to the Buddhi, because intellect is logic oriented, waking state is logic oriented. The dream is chaotic because it is mind oriented. In mind there is no logic, it is only confusion and chaos. In the deep sleep it is Ahankar. Ahankar is not ego. Ahankar is a principle because of which the five elements remain united as a body, and the body is maintained in the body form. That principle is called as Ahankar. Therefore, in the deep sleep, every function may stop, but the hair growth, the nail growth, the digestion, the physiology continues. Who is doing that? That principle is called as Ahankar. And in the Samadhi, even the Ahankar stops functioning, because in Samadhi neither the hair grow nor the nail grow, even the blood circle, like Samadhi is like hibernation. When the frogs go in hibernation for months together, their all physiological functions are suspended, yet they continue to exist. But after the frog comes out of the hibernation, will you start singing? No, same thing, drong, 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 in the same manner. After finishing the Samadhi is over, again, uska kya ho gaya? Because Samadhi is nothing but maintaining the status quo of all the impressions on the mind intact. By Samadhi, ignorance will not be destroyed. Only by the wisdom the ignorance is destroyed. Therefore, Bandha moksho nacha atmani. Bondage, liberation has nothing to do with the self. Nishkale, nishkriye, shanti, niravadde, niranjane, adviti, pare tattve, vyoma matkalpana kutaha. Therefore, in this non-dual absolute ultimate reality like the space, where are the various aspects like the activity, impurity, sin, etc. Because it is all peaceful or not peaceful, it makes no difference, and therefore, where is the imagination of relativity in the absolute? From the spaces point of view, directions have no existence. North, east, west, south is not for the space. It is for those who are other than the space. Similarly, for the water, there is no like something like ocean or the wave. Those who are other than the water, for them, there is ocean, the wave, ocean, the cause, wave, the effect. In the same manner, those who are abiding in this actual reality, for them, there is neither bondage nor liberation. But those who are living as the virtual reality, husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father, for them the samsara is real. Then so, nobody can. Therefore, the ultimate in the actual reality. This is kind of a big missile attack on all the knowledge that we had till then. Na nirodho na cha utpattihi, na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na mumukshur na vai muktaha, ittesha paramarthata. This is the ultimate paramarthata. What is the ultimate wisdom, ultimate absolute reality? Na nirodho na cha utpatti, nothing is ever created. Nothing is ever destroyed. In somebody's house I went, and the child was very smart. He had prepared many things out of these plastic blocks and things which come in the market. House, and then car, and aeroplane, so many things. And he told me, this is all I created. I said, what is the use of my seeing that? Why? You don't like? I said, I like it, so what? I like that house, I don't have a house. Why don't you give me that house? He said, oh, such a simple thing, take the house. But I will take away my blocks. Now see, what is that house? Blocks given a name and a form is house, is it not? 5 elements given a name and a form is a human being. The 5 elements given name and a form is a cow, is a snake, is a stone, is a brick. Think. Therefore, when the blocks are separated from that house, is anything lost? And when the blocks are again reassembled, is the house again created? Therefore, from the absolute standpoint, nothing is either created nor is ever destroyed. Na nirodho na cha utpatti, then na baddho na cha sadhaka. Nobody is bound and nobody is seeking anything. Everything is just a time pass. When you think that you are in bondage, then you will struggle for liberation. See, this one young boy, teenager, he says, Swamiji, I was never going for any these spiritual talks and these study groups of the youth and all that. But after I went there, I have lost the charm of my life. Why? He asked me a question. I said, this question is like a parrot by hurting the replies. He said, earlier I never knew that I have been bondage. Now after constantly hearing from you people, I started feeling I have been bondage. Now I am suffering. I said, this is the bondage. That you are in bondage, that itself you do not know. This is the bondage. The moment you come to realize, you are free. Therefore, then you come to realize, really I was never in bondage. Bondage is an illusion, therefore seeker is equally an illusion. Na mumukshur na vai mukta, ultimate. Nobody is seeking the truth. Na mumukshu. And na mukta, therefore nobody is liberated. Be attentive. Wave cannot be liberated. Wave can disappear in the ocean. There is not a liberated wave. In the same manner, there is liberation without somebody being liberated. See? And therefore, wise people never claim that I am liberated, you are bound. Because that somebody has disappeared. Who will claim to whom? Will anybody say in the deep sleep, come on, now I am sleeping, okay? No. The one who is going through the experience of sleep, he is not available to us. In the same manner, Mukta, the one who is liberated, he has disappeared. And he has disappeared, who will talk? Ittesha Paramarthata. This is the ultimate aim. Our journey, we started from the virtual reality and culminated in the actual reality. And this journey we have to conduct ourselves. Nobody can do it. In this journey, we start from somewhere, we end nowhere. In this journey, we start as somebody and conclude as nobody. In this journey, we start with possessions and in the end, we lose everything. In this journey, you have many things to begin with, but when you end, you lose everything. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyagena eke amrutatva manashe parena nakam nihitam guhayam vibrajate yat yatayo vishanam. Then Vedanta Vijnana Sunishtitataha Sannyasa Yogan Yataya Shuddha Sattva Te Brahma Loke Tu Parantakare Paramritan Parimuchanti Sarve. Tyage Deke Amrutatva Manashe. Unless we give up the waker, his worries, his possessions, his assets, his liabilities, the sleep experience cannot begin. Can we say the waker went to sleep? No. The waker disappeared. In the sleep, the deep sleeper is not the waker. They are mutually exclusive. If there is a waker, there is no dreamer, deep sleeper. If there is a dreamer, there is no waker, etc. But there is one common denominator which is supporting all of them. That is the actual reality, and all these conditioned ones, waker, dreamer, etc., man, woman, etc., husband, wife, etc., these are all virtual realities. Come to discover and discard them, to discover your own essential divinity without any efforts. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.